Oh, women aren't funny.
What about all the funny female comedians? Like, no.
This shouldn't be a comic.
No, listen.
Because I can't do it as a man, I can't do it as a woman.
I've seen a lot of comments on YouTube, especially, of people saying that they don't think that women are funny. Later in the video, I'll get to why that is. So the other day, my husband came to me and he told me the shocking comment that he doesn't think that women can be funny comedians. Why would he say that to me? He said that on occasion before. I think he was just realizing it, that he didn't think that females were funny comics. And I told him, what do you mean? I thought that Mary Mack was your favorite comedian of all time. And he told me, well, I like her accent a lot.
You look so sweet. Debbie, if you're in a surly mood, you could bound right through some lattice work, couldn't ya?
But I don't necessarily think that she's funny. That got me to thinking, I've seen a lot of comments on YouTube, especially, of people saying that they don't think that women are funny. And I wondered why that is, that most people don't think that female comedians are funny. I mean, I know a couple of them that I think are just fantastic. There's Elise Eklund, who's got the deadpan humor down pat. I mean, she's just fantastic at that. And also Isabel Hagen. I'll share with you here, this is my favorite joke. I never really thought of it this way before. So let's take a look at one of my favorite segments from Isabel Hagen show.
And a lot of people come up to me and they're like, hey, does anyone ever tell you you look like Greta Gerwig? And I'm like, no, because no one ever tells me I look like her. They just ask me if other people tell me I look like her. Nobody believes in themselves. Clearly you think I look like her. Take a chance.
As you can see, females can be funny, but why is it that most people think that they're not? I think generally in the comedian sector, not a lot of women are wanting to be comics. So there's a low percentage of female comics in the first place. So there's a lower pool to select from. But I think it really stems from biologically, you don't think that females are very funny because they're not built to be that way. And here's the reason why. So the average women's intelligence is about here, very stable, very good, average, and not stupid, not a genius, but very good level where it leads you to be successful and survivable in life. And you don't have a lot of implements that are holding you back. You can make it with this level of intelligence. However, the average intelligence of a man is slightly less than the average intelligence of a woman. And you ask, well, why is that? Don't I know a lot of smart men? And yes, you do. The reason why the average is low is because the majority of really stupid people are male, but the majority of super geniuses are male. Male's intelligence pattern is all over the place, very erratic. You never know what you're going to get if you have a male. You don't know if he's going to be the biggest idiot you've ever met or the smartest person in the world. And it's likely that the smartest person in the world is going to be a male, not many outliers in the female sex. So males are not usually ones to take up comedy in the first place. And then you have an even smaller pool of females that are really highly intelligent at the genius level than you do men that are at that same level. So if you want to be a thought-provoking, successful comedian that's so innovative, not just copying other people's jokes, then you got to be really super smart. And to do that, most cases, you're going to be a male. Not saying that there isn't geniuses that are women, because they're just a smaller percentage of them. But don't be insulted because more women are a acceptable level of intelligence than there are men. So, you take what you can get. You don't find a lot of female comedians that can perform their act without relying on things like shock material or relaying a long story, just wanting to talk to the audience and relate to the audience. And you also don't find a lot of female comics because it's a tough industry where you have to be hardened by life to go into it. I mean, men have it much harder than women. They are pushed aside constantly in society and put down constantly in society, which is supposedly an acceptable way of treating men. So they're already kind of hardened by life and would find being heckled at not really a problem. More of a fighter group is the male sex. So that's why I think that there's more funny comics. Perhaps Jerry Seinfeld is the best comic that you'll find out there because he has the most intelligence that you'll find of his comedy. Whereas for the females, I think that probably the best one probably be Isabel Hagen. She's the one that really made me think, hey, I never heard of that before. And I very seldom do that with any comic, let alone a female comic. So they are out there, but I just think they're very few and hard to search for. So maybe a Tina Fey would be somebody who would be another example of a extremely intelligent female comic. I don't really necessarily like her comedy. I liked 30 Rock, which I knew that she was a producer for, which I thought was hilarious. Faye even explains that for her star Tracy Morgan, she got most of her material from a female, her daughter.
Your daughter will say something, and then you will give it right to Tracy Morgan on the show because it fits his character perfectly.
Especially when she was smaller. It fits.
And I do think that women are great in situational comedy. I think that they can play comedic personality. It's just coming up with those very thought-provoking jokes is for the select few of society and the even more select few of the females. So what do you think? Do you think that women make funny comedians at all? Or do you think that maybe they're funnier than men are? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and God bless.